recording hides. Okay, you're on.
Welcome everyone to Thrive Thursday. My name is Kevin McGghee. I am a retired religious science practitioner with Journey Center for Spiritual Living still. And although retired from official duties, I still enjoy and maintain my activity as much as possible within the limits that are allowed, so to speak. Tonight, I'm going to ask if Reverend Sue Ellen would pray us in before we start.
So I take a breath in and recognize that there is only God. There's only God. God is everywhere, in and through and as everything that exists. And I know that that power that is God is flowing through me in this moment and through the stars and the planets. All of those things, like galaxies, huge things. And through the little tiny things like the quarks and the amoeba and atoms. God is in and through and as everything, and must be in and through and as each of us right here and right now. And so with God moving through us, I know that this time that we share together is blessed in every way, that God is expressing through us as good in all things that we do and say and hear. And especially this evening, that we go away from here at the end with more awareness of who we are and that everything unfolds perfectly. And so with a grateful heart, I say, thank you, God, for this divine manifestation in our lives today, as I release this word, this prayer into the law that says yes, knowing it is done and complete here and now. And so it is.
And so it is.
So it is.
So it is.
Thank you so much, Reverend Sue Ellen. So I'm going to start tonight with the reaffirmation of you are powerful. I am powerful. And we all have so much power we don't even recognize sometimes what we do with it. In light of things that are going on with each one of us in the world around us at the moment, I would like to discuss the idea that we each have a choice about what we are going to pick up and carry, or what we are going to hold our consciousness around. We've all heard the terminology of a dog with a bone, and you give a dog a bone and the dog is just going to hold on to that bone and just not let go. And for myself, I found in the past few months that I have been doing that dramatically to my own detriment. I have been trying to pick up and carry ideas and situations and circumstances that were not mine to do, not mine to pick up, not mine to worry about, oversee, try to fix, as the case were. And in light of that realization, I was able to catch myself practicing my own, walking my own talk and practicing what I preached, so to speak. And over the course of a few days, I was able to release a lot of toxins that had actually built up in my own self, as in the form of disease or some kind of illness, completely unbeknownst to any doctor or anything else. It just, there was something going on that I created in myself. And with that release, I was able to get myself back on track and healthy, both mentally, physically, and spiritually. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I want everybody to consider, what bones are you holding on to these days? Are you holding on to things that are happening across the country or around our own country, things that are happening in other countries around the world, ideas that are not even manifest yet, perhaps worries that are just being put out into the universe by someone or something that you've latched onto? And my next question is why? What is it about the things that we are choosing to hold on to make us put ourselves into a position of detriment to ourselves to roll around in angst and anxiety about something that we probably have almost zero ability to have any control over? Other than thoughts and prayers, which, those are very powerful, and I don't discount that at all. Sometimes and many times in the life that we have and the life that we have around us, that literally is all we have the ability to do. And not that that's not powerful, but the amount of time that people will obsess over negative things that are happening somewhere so far removed, they lack the ability to make a difference right where they are. Being where you are in the present moment and being able to affect what's happening immediately around you, that you have the ability to make a difference with, and how you show up and present in the community in which you live in the state in which you live in the country. The one thing that I can always say, of course, that everybody should always do is vote. That's something that we can all do whenever a vote comes up, whether it's a special election, the 2-year election, the 4-year election, school boards, whatever it happens to be, vote. That's the one major thing that we have that can make a difference in our country itself. As far as problems going in the world at large, voting is still the only thing we can do, because the people that we vote into office in the bigger context have the ability to try to make a difference on the world stage. As far as wringing our hands and losing sleep over things that are happening in other countries we literally do not have any control over, why? Does it make a difference that we worry over something? No. Worrying is like celery, and I've said this before in other talks. It's completely just, it's there for crunch, but it has no redeeming value whatsoever. When you worry about something, you're actually just putting more power behind the worry to make manifest more so, I believe. When you focus on the negatives, you are sending out energy to attract more negatives into the experience that you're going to see and witness. Whether it actually happens directly to you or not, you actually can be calling a negative to reinforce itself for somebody else or someplace else in the world. When you focus on the things that you can do something about around yourself, and you create a sense of calm, at ease, and peace in your own community by your own actions, that is a ripple effect that will go out into the world around you and can make a difference, and it can make a very large difference. So with that said, the opportunities are vast, because so many times you can simply not realize it by smiling at somebody, or by taking time to say, how are you today, genuinely, and be prepared to listen. If you ask somebody how they are, be prepared to listen to what they have to say. Sometimes you have to, after they start repeating their story into the second time around, it's time to cut it off, but be prepared to listen. Care, genuinely caring about what other people are doing that are around you can make such a difference in the world as a whole, because it can lead them to go out and do the same thing, and it becomes a larger ripple effect that can actually cross the oceans. I know I have talked to people that are in New Zealand, in Australia, Europe, UK, Ireland, and so I know that by my taking time to listen to people and truly hear them and let them express themselves, And I don't offer solutions. I offer an ear. And if they ask me for my opinion or what my thoughts are, I may offer them up, but that's not what I'm here for. But listening to them makes me think that they are going to go out and do the same where they live. So in a way, my little community is reaching out to their little community, and they're halfway around the world. And that's how we can all make a difference. That's one way. Taking care of our own selves, our own thoughts, and how we show up in the world around us immediately, whether it's online, whether it's in the community itself, the physical community that we live in. Those are the opportunities that we have to truly make a difference. The rest of it is all wringing of hands and worrying, and it actually does nothing but upset the person that's doing it. You're calling into yourself that same toxicity that I was referring to that I had within myself, because I was trying to fix things that weren't necessarily mine to fix. I was worrying about things that weren't mine to worry about. There's nothing I could do to solve the problem at hand of what I was worrying about, or I was trying to take ownership of some problem that wasn't my problem to take care of. We say in the science of mind realm that we are in, what is mine to do? What is mine to do today? That's usually the big question that we always present to ourselves when we're learning about science of mind and how we show up. It's like, what is mine to do today? And sometimes it's just to sit and be at peace, knowing that whatever may be happening around you will figure itself out. If it doesn't directly, if it's not directly associated with something that you can actually do something to make a difference, all you can do is have thoughts and prayers around it and know it's going to get better and present it that way to the world around you. Being calm and at ease truly is a state of mind. It's something that we all have to practice to do. And I, for one, fall short every once in a while. We're all human. I wish I could stay at that calm ease of mind and calm state all the time, but even I get sucked into the drama, as you will, sometimes. But I think the whole point is the question around what is mine to do is something that I highly invite everyone that hears this message today and this talk that I'm presenting. I would love for you to all to do that on a regular basis, especially when things seem to be going really off the rails, whatever that may be, or you're feeling anxiety or anxious about something that's happening halfway around the world that we have absolutely no control over whatsoever, generally speaking. Ask yourself, what is mine to do? How can I make this better in my own thinking so that I can release the anxiety that I feel? Because that same anxiety is going to affect me personally. Because when we own and pick up anxieties like that, it's like walking down a street full of potholes. You keep falling in a pothole and you don't come to the realization if you sidestep one way, sidestep another, you're going to miss the pothole. You may find another one a little ways down the road. Or you may just choose to take a different route and not go down that road full of potholes. So there are always options and opportunities to do better and be better. And the only thing and the only person you have to be better than today is who you were yesterday. Because you are powerful. And each and every one of you, and the people that will hear this in the future, you are powerful. You have the ability to make a difference, one person at a time. My husband laughs at me because I'm always like doing silly little things like kicking a rock out of the road. And he's like, well, you saved that rock, one rock at a time. So he kind of makes fun of the things that I choose to do, so to speak. But it's all in good fun. So I invite you all to take a moment, take a deep breath in, and just allow your mind to wander gently away from what I was referring to. Just kind of clear your mind. If something comes into your mind right now that is a worry or something that's going on in the world that is or has been troubling you, take notice of it. Just take a deep breath. And now, if possible, I invite you to just surround that idea and that worry that you're having, that troublesome thought around whatever it may be, near or far, it doesn't make any difference. But surround that in whatever favorite color you have that brings you power. Gold, red, blue, green, yellow. And just see these problems floating inside this giant bubble, the color of your choice. And as you do this, just feel the amount of lightness that comes about because you're allowing that trouble and that worry to be encased by this beautiful colored bubble. And that bubble is lifting it away from you because ultimately, is it for you to do anything about? Is there something that you can do about it? And if not, put it in the bubble and let it float away from you. You can still see it. It's encased in that beautiful color that is so powerful. And you get to pick the color because you are the power behind it. So now, as we bring ourselves to the attention of what's in the bubble, we have one added layer, and that is we get to fill all that empty space around that worry and that troublesome ideas or whatever it is that we're thinking of with our prayers of goodness. Knowing that filling that space in that bubble around that problem with all good energy, the good vibrations, the good mojo, whatever you want to term it. You're filling that bubble with love, with the caring that makes you pick it up to begin with to worry about. The caring for the people involved, the situations involved, the countries involved, maybe. It doesn't really matter what it was. But we're filling that space with love, energy, positive thoughts, positive prayers. And in a sense, we are flooding those problems with all of that goodness. And allowing it just to be in that bubble, removed from us directly, still there and still filled with our caring, our love, all those things that made us want to pick up the problem to begin with. a desire to fix whatever it was or to see a difference and a change. And know by sending that out, that is, in essence, truly what thoughts and prayers are. That is where the power lay when we can't actually do anything but send thoughts and prayers. It's not a hollow statement if we actually take the time to create the true energy, the true prayer work, the prayers and the loving thoughts associated with it. And like a good book that we finish reading, we put up on the shelf to revisit again another day, we just take those bubbles and we put them up on a shelf where we know that they're there, they're safe. You can always add a little more love to the bubble around them. But we put them away now. And now we have the ability to find that peace and calm that we deserve, that inner peace and calm that allow us to live our life that way and to show up in the world around us that way. And now everyone can slowly bring themselves back into the present moment, taking deep breaths and releasing the energy around our practice, what we just did. Bring our minds back into this meeting and this talk. So, for next few minutes or so, because we're a little bit ahead of the timeline, because I kind of got excited and got going pretty quick, I invite anybody to share anything they would like to. And I will happily start out by saying the one thing in my bubble is the people in the Middle East. And it kind of covers everybody because everyone's in turmoil. Everybody needs that prayer work. There's nothing I can do about it directly. And I feel for all parties involved. There may or may not be more fault than some on some parties' lines, but that's not my concern at the moment. My concern is just trying to send the energy out there to hopefully make a difference, that they will find a solution without wiping the entire Middle East out in the process. Anybody else like to share anything? Not necessarily what's in your bubble, but about the talk tonight that may have come up for you. And if not, that's okay too.
I can start with a little bit. Um, I think what we teach about what's mine to do is really important because it keeps us from moving across those boundaries where we tend sometimes to take on things that are not ours to do, and not allowing the other person or the event to play out the way it should without interference. We get into that energetic entanglement sometimes, and then take on things that we shouldn't. energetically and physically in action. And so I think that's really important thing. It's not always easy to remember it though in the moment, because as humans, we want to dive in sometimes, head first. But I think that's really an important topic, and it is just about remembering. Probably there isn't a day to go by that I don't think about what's going on in other places over in Europe and in the Middle East and all over the world, actually. And I have so much compassion for the general population in those areas that aren't the ones that make the decision to go to war, for the most part. And they're caught up in all of that. And I have so much, sadness and compassion for the people of Gaza and the Israeli citizens, that whole thing, and then the surrounding countries around them. And that's an event that's been going on for centuries and centuries and thousands of years against each other. So I used to follow Chiron a lot and listen to his stuff. I don't know if you guys know who that is. So Chiron is a channeled entity. Yeah, I love that stuff. Okay, so that's always in my work somewhere. But he talked about the importance of when we want to, if we focus on one area of the planet, or even one area of our lives, we have to remember that there's wholeness in everything. And so when we think about our bodies and our lives and the events in our lives, and you want to heal, yes, we do our treatment and send healing energy and love and light to that particular event or that particular part of our body. But we have to remember there's wholeness. And so we have to do as much reflection and work on our entire body. When I broke my ankle years ago, I've always been a gym rat, and I don't want to quit going to the gym. So there I was on the equipment with one leg and a cast up to my knee, still doing all my exercises, hopping from machine to machine. But my orthopedic actually said that was really good, because you have to continue working out your whole body so that your leg and so that the cells and muscles in your leg respond just as well, even though it's in a cast. So, and that, and I wasn't involved in science of mind back then, but I thought it was how interesting that you don't just sit down and you don't just let that leg go limp. You have to work that leg with everything, because the body comes together as a whole. So what Chiron would teach about the world is we can, let that stuff bring up a lot of angst and pain for us with things that are going on in the other part of the world. And you're going to want to send light and love over there in your prayers, but think about the planet as a whole. So I may start by looking at that one area of the world that needs, lots of love and healing and compassion. And then I just let it take over the whole planet, because it's a wholeness, an entity of wholeness, all of it. So that's what I try to do. And there's something that's playing out over there that I don't know that I have any control over. There's something playing out over my neighbor's house, but I'm not sure I have any control over there. When 4 cop cars show up, a couple times, every couple weeks, but it's just do that compassion and that healing and that wholeness there, and let it move through the neighborhood and the whole planet. So it's kind of how I view it.
Thank you. It was wonderful and very good way to express it. Anybody else? Thoughts, comments?
I could choose to be mad and disgusted about what's going on in the Middle East, what happened yesterday in Kansas City, what seems to go on a regular basis in Washington. But I realize feeling that way, again, there's nothing I can do about it, feeling that way, but send loving thoughts, send a lot of prayers, and sort of like Red Lynn, start with wholeness and let that seep into all the trouble well, the good parts as well as all the trouble parts. But we're talking about the trouble things that, yeah, what's right here in our own communities, in our own lives, or as you say, on a one-to-one basis. Like today, when I was coming back from lunch, a lady stopped me and said she needed some money for gas. Did I have anything? I gave her what I had. It was very small, but I helped her and felt and was so grateful I could. But the small things, as you say, that's where it starts. But as far globally, even locally, sending love, prayers, positive thoughts, knowing that there is a plan there for an ultimate healing. The theme is for this month is a grand rising. There'll be a grand rise. And I don't chuckle about that, but I just see like a grand rising worldwide. And just sending that realization and those thoughts help me.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say that between what you both have just shared, I had a couple of other like inspiring mental thoughts, because I thought of the first thing was 6 degrees of separation. We don't always know how many people we are out from touching, because somebody we touch could actually be connected to somebody across the ocean. And so it could just that easily be across the ocean, and what you did affected them, and then they affected somebody that they know overseas in a telephone call or a video chat. And then also what Lynn was sharing and kind of tying into what you were saying, Mary Lee, was the idea that, and kind of what I was trying to convey with the idea of the bubble, was taking the anxiety out of ourselves and putting it up on a shelf and surrounding it with that love energy and those good vibrations, so that we are still whole, perfect, and complete without the anxiety inside of us, giving us the ability to show up in a sense of calm and ease and to do the right thing. With Mary Lee, she chose to do that instead of going off into the, oh, well, they'll probably just buy alcohol or drugs with it, and she's just lying to me and I'm not giving her any money. We could go off into the negative and then not help anybody around us. Or we can show up in the calm and ease and do what we can, even in the smallest ways. And we show up and we make a difference. So thank you very much, both of you, for those thoughts.
And I was going to say that your idea of putting the angst, the worry, the fuss in a bubble and surrounding that with love and light and joy, then makes us not be focused on the angst in the bubble. But now we're focusing the love and the joy and the peace and whatever it is instead in the situation.
Yes.
Where if we spend any time at all focusing on the situation, then we feel the angst and the negativity, and that's not a good thing, because that drags us back down again. So I love that idea of putting it in a bubble. I have no clue where you came up with that, because certainly wasn't from me, but I love it. So let's just put that stuff in a bubble and surround it and hold it. Or maybe it's partly my bubble analogy from way years ago, which was borrowed from. Okay,
I remember Reverend Pat said it, I think, about a golden bubble.
Okay, all right.
At some point in Oklahoma City. And but I wanted to carry it further, because first of all, I want everybody to use their own powerful color.
Right.
because each one of us have our own unique power and ability, and that's more the controlling entity of taking it out and capturing it in the bubble and keeping it there, because we're each powerful enough to do that. And then filling up that empty space in the bubble around it with the love and the positive energy
Yeah.
will, if nothing else, it'll drown the negative thing out and just get rid of it.
Mhm.
It's like
Dissolve
just kill it with kindness, so to speak.
Yes,
But go ahead, Swell. Sorry.
that's good. That's good. I'll stop there. You're good.
Are you? Did you finish?
I think so.
Anyone else? Anything else to add? Okay. During the course of the talk, when we were doing our bubble work, I had a little scratch, 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 and she wasn't going away, so I have this one with because the rest of the house right now is empty, and she didn't want to be downstairs by herself, so she was pestering me to get into the room with me. So I did get up at one point and open the door. I don't think anybody saw me, but it is on the video. Just to explain what I was doing. So, without any other discussion at the moment, I do invite anybody that may be listening to this in the future to reach out on Facebook at Inner Journey Facebook, or reach out to, we have a website or a web page, I believe, somewhere. I think there's a link on YouTube where you can get a hold of Reverend Lynn, and through her, you can get to Sue Ellen or myself or anyone else that's part of our group. If you want further discussions, we're always happy to pick that up on whatever level that we can at the moment. Before I forget, we are a non-for-profit organization, so if there's any desire to tithe for this evening's talk, it does help keep us going and the lights on and our space in Oklahoma City and all that. So my word is love, and the text number is, and it's very easy. Just text the word love to this number and the amount you would like to tithe. And it's very simple, not a problem whatsoever. I know there's other ways to donate to Inner Journey, but that's generally the one we work out with the most. I think there might be a donation button on the YouTube channel. I'm not sure.
Not the YouTube channel, but the
Website.
innerjourney.org website. Yes.
Okay, thank you. I wasn't sure. We do not have a button or a tithing button on Facebook, Inner Journey Facebook. So I do know that. And with that, I think we'll close out. Sue Ellen, did you have anything you wanted to add as far as information for future events or anything going on? Do we have any upcoming classes, online classes or otherwise?
Not at the moment. Mary Lee and I are doing the track 2.
Practitioner 2,
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
and that will be starting in.
No, it's continuing.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
We're
it's
in the
continuing.
thick of it right now.
All right. My mistake. I wasn't paying attention
you're
at our
fine.
last
You're
meeting.
fine. Yeah. We started on the 15th of January.
Okay.
So
Wonderful.
I have the Thrive for next time.
The 1st of March.
Right.
The
And
first
nobody,
Thursday of March.
Well,
No.
wait, there's one on the 29th of this month. There's a
That's
one,
right.
two,
Since,
Fifth Friday, and
leap
it's for
year,
visioning.
so are you, since it's leap year Thursday, that there's still.
Oh, that's right.
Will be one
and Katie's doing that.
Yes.
We have a visioning on Thrive Thursday on the 29th.
Yes.
So, and then Sue Ellen will be facilitating the Thrive on the first Thursday in March.
Yes, that
So
is,
those are the upcoming things. I'm not sure about any other classes or things coming up in the near future, but always check in with us. You never know. There might be a book discussion or something going on.
cool.
We simply do not know. We're just kind of in the flow every day and see how it goes. Change happens, just like we know spring will be here soon and summer will be shortly behind it. So with that, I invite everybody to take a deep breath. And another one. And know with me that God is all there is. God is in, through, and as every single thing that we see, every single thing that we feel, every emotion, every sensation of our physical body, every cell in our body, the smallest, most minute thing that keeps our bodies functioning, including the very energy itself, is God. And it grows out from there to everything that keeps the planet spinning and the universe around us doing what it does. And that is God. That is the energy that is God, no matter what you choose to call it. Energy, God, Jehovah. The name is not important so much as a recognition that it is all there is, truly. Even in the most bizarre or seemingly heinous situations, God is there. God is present. And I am grateful for the knowledge that the things that man creates, man can fix. God gives us the free will, but also God knows that we will fix and we can fix what we break or what we create. And as I release these ideas into the universe, I know that all is well. For each one of us in this talk, all is well in this moment. And I know that we each know what is ours to do, and we each are able to determine what is ours to do in the coming days, months, years, however long we have. We are divinely guided beings, everyone on this planet. It's just a matter of listening to that divine guidance, choosing which road to go down, watching out for the potholes, knowing that this is all relevant and we all can make a difference. I see the power of God in each and everything, in each and every one, not only on this call, but in the future, the people that I come in contact with. And I invite each and every one of you to do the same. I know that there is only God, and God is with each and every one of us, right here and right now. And I'm releasing my word into the universe, knowing that it is done, whole, perfect, and complete right here and right now. And as we leave this talk and this prayer, we affirm this all together. And so it is.
So it is. I love the idea of the bubble. I will definitely carry that with
Well, thank you.
me.
Just remember to pick your most powerful color.
So,
That's the one that can carry it and hold on to it.
Well, couldn't also you pick, for example, if your problem is environment, you might pick the color green, which might not be your powerful color, but it might be the environment's powerful color.
True.
Just saying,
Absolutely.
possibilities exist.
Indeed. Indeed, they do.
Thank you all for showing up, participating tonight. We love having everyone here. I enjoy seeing all the faces and look forward to seeing you all again soon.